What's up, guys? What an interesting day today. In today's video, we're going to go over the SPY, the NASDAQ, the IWM, the crypto markets. I'm going to talk about what we have in store for us potentially for the rest of the week and my thoughts. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. Number one, this morning, Fed Powell said during his speech, he said, "We've learned how little we know about inflation." So those aren't good things to say if you're the chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank. But yeah, that's what he said. He said, "We've learned how little we actually know about inflation." So that's nice of him to say. Being sarcastic, but yeah. But it is important that I think last week he did say that the market is doing a good job of pricing in how the Fed is responding to inflation. So he's saying that the markets are stable and things are still doing well in terms of the market. Regardless, Thursday, so tomorrow we have some PCE numbers and unemployment claims coming out at 8:30. But then on Friday at 10 a.m., we have ISM PMI numbers. So essentially, what happened today was purely just sort of chop, right? I mean, if you look at this candle, we had a very, very tight range all day. We traded on a very, very tight range of less than $4 for the entire day. And we didn't see much follow through to the up or the downside. There was no real momentum. And on days like this, when there is no real momentum, what we have to do is we have to go long at support and we have to go short at resistance. So choppy days like we've seen for weeks, right? Just the last week or so, we didn't have as many choppiness. We didn't have much choppiness. There was a lot of momentum to the upside. So today there was a lot of choppiness. So what we were literally doing, if you remember, is as the market was green, right? On big green candles, as they hit resistance, that is when you enter short. And those ended up working the best. And similarly, as the market was falling and it was hitting support, that's when you buy, because that's when long opportunities were working the best. But when there is momentum, right, you can buy on breaks of resistance. You could buy calls on breaks of resistance, or you can buy puts on breaks of support. But on choppy days, this doesn't work. All right. So that is what I'm assuming is going to happen for Thursday and on Friday. So definitely, it's not a time to lose a lot of money on your portfolios. Definitely trade light. And just be patient. Wait for setups, because there are going to be very trendy days that are going to be much easier to trade. But especially before a long weekend and before a holiday, we can see that there is like stagnation in the market. So it's not a time to over leverage and drink a bunch of espressos and try to like forcefully make a lot of money in the market right now. All right. So just be patient. So essentially there's that for really at this point, right? And like for the rest of the week, I'm not sure what we do in terms of price action, because we can see here the SPY came back and filled the gap that we had. We came, retested the high of this candle. We filled this gap on the SPY, and we also filled the gap on the IWM. And you can clearly see that the IWM today was a big loser compared to the SPY and the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ was actually the only green ETF out of the three. So you can see that tech stocks were getting a lot more love than the garbage IWM. But yeah, and interestingly enough, the NASDAQ filled the gap yesterday. So what we need to see now is basically whether these overall, since we broke this uptrend, I do think we end up making new lows, obviously, right? That's going to be the play. Now it's just about positioning to get the best price for a break of the lows here. But now it's a matter of how long it will take. Okay, because July historically is supposed to be a bullish month. So you can see in this chart, it shows the average percent change each month from 1928 to 2022. And you can see July is one of the most outperforming months, where on average we see a 1.6% gain compared to any losses. So July is supposed to be a historically very, very strong month. And also when you look at the seasonality chart, you can see July is very, very strong, and it's supposed to close strong as well. So we're heading into July, right? So July is supposed to be very, very strong, but we broke this uptrend. The Fed is not going to change its demeanor towards the market. We're still going to increase interest rates. At the end of July, we're going to find out that we're in a recession. So it's going to be there's some conflicting data at the moment, right? But overall, I do think that the market is going to start getting some momentum, some volume. It's going to start picking back up next week when people come back from vacation. It'll be less choppy, but these next few days are going to be choppy. July in general should be bullish. So we're going to most likely lean to the bullish side if like the setups and everything permit. But overall, we're in a bear trend. We're in a bear market. Every single time we've had a pop upwards, this has been an opportunity to go short. And we messed up essentially because we waited a bit too long to enter into heavy shorts. We thought that 395 to 400 would be on the table, but they stopped it before. So now we have to keep that in mind for the next few pops that happen. So essentially, I mean, really, that's that. If you think that the market is going to go up or down this week, flip a coin, because at this point, we broke the uptrend, but we held this level of support. We wicked down. We filled the gap. The indicators obviously are very bearish, right? The MACD is much, much higher, and it's clearly falling lower. The RSI is stagnant as well here, and it shows that there's a lot more room to the downside. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I guess we could fall heading into July 4th, since right now there's little to no volume. But July is a historically strong month. And really, there's that for my analysis on the stock market. We could take a look at the crypto market. So we could take a look at the weekly chart on Bitcoin, right? And the problem here is that the Bollinger Band is basically in free fall, which means that there's a lot more room for Bitcoin to fall to the downside for us to even become overextended again to the downside, right? But overall, I'm going to remain optimistic on Bitcoin for this week. I do think that we should see a rally Monday or Sunday night. But then, that's an issue because of the holiday weekend. But regardless, because this is very, very overextended to the downside, I do believe that we should have somewhat of a pop up to at least 22K in the coming few days. So again, there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Not much really to say. It's a holiday week, lots of choppy price action. I hope you guys didn't get chopped out too much. Be patient. Join the Discord. And the link is in the channel description in the comments. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.